is a very important theme to which Uganda strongly aligns herself. If there has been one positive thing from COVID-19, it is unlocking the digital potential of our countries.
He also urged the COMESA Secretariat to work with other regional secretariats to ensure coordination and synchronization across the continent for better results, saying the presence of chairperson of African Union as well as the chairpersons of the sister regional integration blocks is already a very good starting point in the right direction. He congratulated President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, President of the Arab Republic of Egypt, upon assuming the chairmanship of COMESA Authority, and assured him of Uganda's full support during his tenure as the chairman. The 21st COMESA Heads of State and Government Summit, which was held under the theme Building Resilience Through Strategic Digital Integration, is expected to rally member states on how to safeguard and advance the COMESA regional integration agenda using digital platforms, given the uncertain nature of shocks. Etole Ed Akenjol, UBC News.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development has provided an initial fund size of 100 billion shillings under the Small Business Recovery Fund in partnership with commercial banks, microfinance deposit-taking institutions and credit institutions across the country. This to provide affordable financial loans to businesses affected by the COVID-19 pandemic prevention measures.
The Small Business Recovery Fund is hinged on various research reports that highlight the cost of capital, cost of transport, the cost and efficiency of power, and the cost and adaptation of technology being the major binding constraints to SMEs.
Therefore, this intervention of the Small Business Recovery Fund seeks to address the first constraint to the relatively high cost of capital and high interest rates, but specifically this time for those businesses which have been impacted by the pandemic. There are also strategies we are putting in place to accelerate, to build on this momentum and accelerate it to ensure that we get back to our target growth rate and also raising household incomes.
Some of the eligibility terms for the loans include a small business operated by individuals, groups, partners and companies employing 5 to 49 people with an annual turnover of 10 million to 100 million Ugandan shillings.
Accordingly, the fund will support small businesses that suffered financial distress because of the pandemic so that they recover. The participating financial institutions will match the government contribution of 100 billion to form a consortium pool of 200 billion Uganda shillings. A borrower or group of related parties shall only access financing once under the fund, once.
The maximum loan amount to a borrower will be 100 million shillings with interest rates of not more than 10% per annum.
So the commercial cost of money does not change for banks, but because the money will be blended with interest-free money from government, that's how the final rate comes down, right? So if you're going to borrow, for argument's sake, 10 million, 5 came from government at zero interest, 5 came from the bank with the bank interest. When it comes together, you're able to borrow 10 million at 10%.
What you see is a product of intense negotiations by different stakeholders. And I would say that overall, what you see is a good package in the following ways. One, in the sense that it specifies who the beneficiaries are. So this means that larger businesses won't benefit from this. Two, it excludes people who have been benefiting from the agricultural credit facility already. Three, it ensures that an interest rate of 10% is only paid on the portion that's provided by the financial institutions.
The goal of this revolving fund is to enhance the capability of small businesses to recover and resume operations at the levels and beyond positions they were at before government instituted the standard operation procedures. Wadulo Makanold for UBC News in Kampala.
Now, the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development has revealed that there has been a resurgence of female genital mutilation in communities of Sebei and Karamoja. While addressing the press at Media Center about 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, the Minister of State for Culture, Peace Mutuzo, said countries in East African region have to rethink and come up with strategies to end the cross-border FGM.
As the campaign on activism against gender-based violence starts this year, cases of violence against women are escalating. This trend of high percentages of spousal violence and child marriages, according to government, are unacceptable. State Minister for Culture, Peace Mutuzo, attributes the situation to men and women staying at home during the COVID-19 lockdown with no work.
Statistics show that over half of the women between 15 and 49 years have experienced violence, and more than 1 in every 5 young girls between ages of 15 and 24 have experienced sexual violence in their lifetime.
Despite the law on female genital mutilation to eliminate this practice in communities that practice it in Sebei and Karamoja, there has been a resurgence of the practice as a result of cross-border. Previously, the practice had gone down to 0.3%, but 2020 report indicate 13% of the girls and 52% of the women being subjected to this cultural harmful practice.
Support for abandonment of female genital mutilation practiced in communities, including cross-border task force mobilization and organization with associated support. We offer about 200 million shillings to reach an NGO which has been supporting us in the fight against FGM in Sebei region.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, through the Department of Youth and Children, has launched a child helpline, Sauti 116, with the aim of creating awareness to the children about their rights.
The biggest percentage of all our calls are regarding children between the age of 14 and 17 years. This age group also have better access to phones and make up most of our child callers. This is saddening, especially as children have been in their homes for the past 2 years. It shows that many homes are not safe for our children.
An assessment carried out by joining forces revealed that 65.8% of children interviewed across 6 districts in Uganda had reported increase in physical or emotional violence from their caregivers in the months leading up to December 2020 alone.
The awareness of GBV that will involve activities like dialogue with neighboring countries to end cross-border FGM starts on 25th of November and will end on 10th December, the day to commemorate International Day of Human Rights. I'm Nafka Farida and Dan Lugemwa in Kampala.
And Cabinet has considered amending of the Occupational Safety and Health Act to strengthen provisions of the existing law. The amendment will necessitate robust investigations into work-related accidents. Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Chris Bariomonsi, presented Cabinet resolutions to the press at Media Center in Kampala.
The Cabinet has considered the proposal by the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development to provide for the amendment of the Occupational Safety and Health Act. The amendment is aimed at strengthening provisions of the existing law. The law will include inspection and registration of workplaces in compliance to occupational safety, investigate work-related accidents, and review environmental impact assessment.
Inspection and certification of statutory equipment undertaken, training of workers and employers on occupational safety and health standards will now be conducted, so the amendments will address those areas which will now be strengthened in the new law. Some of the expected outcomes once these amendments are made is that there will be increased workers' productivity and also increased compliance to safety and health standards.
Cabinet also considered the information paper from the Ministry of Internal Affairs to have all NGOs validated, verified and registered to facilitate evidence-based decisions.
And one of the cardinal observations that we made was that NGOs, yes, are allowed to operate in this country, but they should come and fit into the work plan of this country and promote the agenda and the interests of Ugandans, not the foreign interests, not personal interests of individuals.
Cabinet as well agreed that children, including those who got pregnant during the COVID-19 pandemic, should be enabled to return to class once education institutions fully resume studies in 2022. This was part of the paper presented by the Ministry of Education and Sports to address, among other issues, defilement and early marriages.
Young people, particularly young girls, remain vulnerable, and COVID-19 and the associated measures to control it has heightened the vulnerability when it comes to the girl child.
The International Day of Persons Living with Disabilities will be commemorated on 3rd December 2021 under the theme, Not All Disabilities Are Visible, a call for a stronger post-COVID-19 agenda.
And this day will be marked at State House, Entebbe, and President Yoweri Museveni shall preside over the celebrations, which will be held in a scientific manner.
An 8-member board of Uganda Development Corporation was also approved by Cabinet and will be chaired by Godfrey Ruhirira. Ivan Kahwa, UBC News in Kampala.
And with that, let's take a quick break. When we return, more details. This is News Tonight.
Guletede MTN Kabode esimu ya smart gyosobola okwefunira olwo n'ogisasula mpola nkugambye yeneerye yakabi ate nga tamanyi endala zonna mu katale ejjirako omuggo gwa yintaneti kati ky'oba okola gwenyiga *655*2# okebere oba osobola okwefunira MTN Kabode olumala okebera bw'oti dduka buddusi ku dduka lya MTN lyonna eri kuli okumpi weefunire MTN Kabode olwo olyoka ogisasule mpola ng'osasula nusu 15,000 zokka buli wiiki okumala emyezi 6 ng'okozesa MTN Momo weefunire Kabode kati dish.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
It's the festive season and we love it. And that means it's time to celebrate with GoTV.
Come with me.
So get your GoCoder and GoTV value for 25,000 shillings to watch with the whole family. And if you're feeling extra festive, upgrade to our best package yet, GoTV Super.
Something to look forward to.
Download the My GoTV app for more information.
Super.
We all deserve a super festive season. And with GoTV, there's every reason to love it.
The KABAKA Birthday Run 2021 is back on Sunday, 28th November 2021, and will be flagged off by Sabasaja KABAKA at 7 a.m. in support of men, good health, and the fight against ending AIDS by 2030. It will be a virtual run in our various homes and communities around Uganda, with every participant following the Ministry of Health guidelines and SOPs to stop the spread of corona. Buy your ticket today at 15,000 Uganda shillings from Airtel shops, New Park, Chagwe Road, ShopRite Building, Benchuanuka, Tobani Center, or Bulange Mengo. You can also buy your ticket using Airtel Money. Dial *185*5#. Select payment, select KABAKA Run, and follow the prompts to complete the payment. KABAKA Birthday Run 2021, brought to you by UNAIDS, CBS, BBS, and Airtel, the smartphone network.
Raising Voices.
I feel happy when my father spends time with me. I hope all fathers will like my father. I want my father to reach out to all fathers. He knows how important it is to be a good father. I promise to help my father inspire other fathers to change.
In this time of COVID, what is your promise to the children of Uganda? Because a violence-free childhood is everyone's right. Raising Voices.
Roofing's TMX 500C rebars with cut and bend surfaces. Roofing's strength of a nation.
Transact and win money after money with Airtel Money. 1.5 billion shillings in cash prizes up for grabs. The more you transact, the higher your chances of winning. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
It's the festive season and we love it. And that means it's time to celebrate with GoTV.
Come with me.
So get your GoCoder and GoTV value for 25,000 shillings to watch with the whole family. And if you're feeling extra festive, upgrade to our best package yet, GoTV Super.
Something to look forward to.
Download the My GoTV app for more information.
Super.
We all deserve a super festive season. And with GoTV, there's every reason to love it.
Welcome back. Now in business news, technical and vocational education training is one of the priority areas of the educational sector. Government is investing heavily in to trigger national growth and development. The First Lady and Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Museveni, remarked in a speech read for her by the State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. Chrysostom Muyingo, at the occasion to mark 10 years of service of the Uganda Business and Technical Examinations Board.
Uganda Business and Technical Examinations Board has marked 10 years of serving technical and vocational education trainees. According to the Minister of Education and Sports, Honorable Janet Museveni, UBTEB constitute a critical base of entities which contribute human capital development. This was contained in her speech read by the State Minister for Education, Dr. Jesse Muyingo.
Today, UBTEB is one of the reputable assessment bodies that the government of Uganda is proud to be associated with. I'm pleased to note that the graduates passed out by the board now stands at 171,835 from a total of only 4,641 pioneer graduates of UBTEB in 2010. I commend the efforts and progress registered towards increasing the enrollment of TVET trainees. I am happy to note that the board has established institutional linkages and partnerships with both private and public sector enterprises through signing of several MOUs as a way of implementing the TVET reforms detailed in the approved TVET policy.
The board chair, Uganda Business and Technical Examinations Board, Engineer Silva Mugisha, outlines the achievements in the last 10 years.
And most importantly, we have now made everybody aware that the way to go for our economy is to concentrate on competence-based training. As you know, what competence means is knowing what to do successfully and efficiently. So really without anything, you can see that that is what you need in order to be relevant to this economy. And I'm very happy that UBTEB has done a lot in this area and we continue to do much more, especially when we introduce this modularized assessment. This will be a very positive step in that direction.
Meanwhile, the Executive Secretary at UBTEB, Onesimus Oyesji, the Skills Examinations Body has been increasingly prioritizing skills needed by the world of work. Oyesji says the next 10 years are to be years of real transformation of the vocation and technical skills.
We are going to look at improving our infrastructure. You have heard the chair say
We are going to improve our infrastructure. We shall have our base offices. We shall have our own laboratories. We shall have our own workshops for test items in those 10 years under one complex, which is called the UBC Assessment Center. But also want to integrate ICT in all our activities, which we have done. But we want to make sure that the ICT is at the forefront in whatever we are doing. But most important is that as we implement competence-based assessment, one of the tenets of competence-based education is flexibility.
UBC is now training assessors of the new technical and vocational curriculum, where trainees will be assessed for the competences required by the labor market. Abdul Nasili Lubwama, Douglas Setumba for UBC News.
And now in sports, Uganda's Swimming Federation has, ahead of this weekend's 6th National Swimming Championship, been boosted by MultiChoice through its DSTV brand. The 3-day National Championship starts this Friday at Green Hill Academy Chibuli campus.
This weekend's 6th National Swimming Championship has been boosted by DSTV to the tune of 20 million Uganda shillings.
We support the Uganda Swimming Federation first and foremost because we know that we have many customers who watch and enjoy swimming content, but more importantly because we know that they're very strong Uganda swimmers, and we would like to make sure that when people all over the world view swimming competitions, there are Ugandan representatives in those competitions.
The 3-day championship that starts on Friday is expected to attract more than 300 swimmers from across the country.
This sponsorship is very crucial, and it has come in at a time where we need it most. This is a time where we are recovering from the past lockdown and having spent 2 years of not swimming locally.
Excellent performances will earn athletes the right to form the core of Uganda's team at the Kana Zone 3 that starts 9th December in Uganda and is also powered by DSTV. The venue for the championship is the 8-lane 25-meter pool at Green Hill Academy's Kibuli campus. Over the years, this championship has provided quality displays and produced excellence, with this particular one to attract 19 clubs including Dolphins, Seals, Silverfin, Altona and Sailfish. John Burns, Sentamu, reporting.
Well, and that does it for news tonight. We do return at 10 o'clock with more details. Mugalu Mohammed on sign language. I am Rhoda. Do stick around.